Okay, everyone on the channel, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Today, I'm going to do a video of something that was requested, some information, how I do certain things I do with my diet. Now, a lot of times people have told me, I made one about sausages. Go back there. That's coming out at 4 p.m. today. It's now 12:30 p.m. So in what, 3.5 hours, 3 hours and 27 minutes, it's going to come out a video about cooking sausages and stuff. So a lot of people say that if you want to do a keto diet, a low calorie diet, a low carb diet, whatever the case may be, it's very expensive and it's very, very time consuming. One lady said that she spends about 3 or 4 hours a day on her preparing her meals. I said, well, are your numbers good? If your numbers are good, then that's definitely 3 hours or 4 hours well spent. But she says, no, her numbers are horrible. She has bad numbers. She's not doing well at all. So I said, well, maybe, like I said, this channel is all about what I do. What I do. One other thing that you can do is go down there, lower right-hand corner, boop, 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 boop. You're going to see a button there that says subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that subscribe button and go from there. Like, share, whatever on the channel. So please subscribe. But her numbers are bad. She has bad numbers. And so, well, if that was me, if I spend 3 or 4 hours a day on preparing my meals, cooking my meals, whatever, I might want to take that time and convert that into something else. Maybe hydrating, maybe do a little exercise, walking. Talk to your doctor, talk to your doctor, talk to your doctor. Because the diet programs that are out there are always, they always want you to do things their way. And their way may not be correct for you. Some of them are definitely not correct for me. I don't have thousands of dollars to hire a personal trainer to come get me. Look at what happened with Oprah Winfrey. She has personal trainers, she has chefs, she has nutritionists, she has pharmacists, she has her own gym, she has a swimming pool, she has all that stuff. And what happened to her? She was on Weight Watchers, she endorsed Weight Watchers, she was an investor in Weight Watchers, and she got caught taking Ozempic. Ozempic is not a weight loss drug. Ozempic is a drug for diabetics. But she was abusing that drug, taking it for a reason other than it was designed to do, so she can make herself thinner or not quite as large. So that's what she did, and she got caught, and then she had to be removed from Weight Watchers. She stepped down to do other things, they said, but we all know what happened. She was saying, hey folks, go on the Weight Watchers diet and you're going to lose a lot of weight. Well, what happened was, even with all that help, she couldn't do it. You see Marie Osmond, you see all these other stars of Valerie Bertinelli, all of them, and they get assistance more than you're probably going to get. If I go on Nutrisystem tomorrow, they're not going to bring the meals to me, cook them in my kitchen, and go out there and have me walk with them, wake me up at 7 o'clock in the morning for a walk, teach me how to hydrate, have me drink this, maybe take a little something, some supplements to curb my appetite. Well, that's what they do with these celebrities. And even with all that help, she couldn't get it to work for her. So it happens. So what I'm going to do right now, this has been requested. This is Subway's formula for making tuna. Some people can eat tuna right out of the can. That might be good. What's really weird about tuna is I don't like fish and I don't like mayonnaise, but I do like tuna fish. I think as a kid we're introduced to tuna, and that's kind of the one that we all eat. That, or maybe some little filet of fish patties or whatever, or filet of fish sandwich at McDonald's. Maybe people get used to that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how it's made at Subway. Some of the tools we're going to be using. I already used this one, the can opener. At Subway we have a one like that. Then we're going to be using the tuna, and I'll bring the camera down a little bit and turn it so you can see me actually making the tuna. What I did with tuna is, when you work at Subway, you eat the same foods every single day. And back then the menu was a little bit more limited. We didn't have an oven to bake, do you want that toasted? We didn't have any of that kind of stuff. So they're all mostly either could be a cold sandwich or a hot sandwich. You wouldn't take a cold sandwich and make it hot, that kind of thing. But we had everything from, the basic ham and cheese. We had like Italian subs, the BMT. The bigger, meatiest, and tastiest was the commercial for that one. We had vegetarian subs. We had tuna. We had seafood and crab. I never even got close to that. I would smell it. I don't want to say, made me sick to my stomach, which is quite large back then. It's still kind of a little bit too big. But I would get to the point where I didn't want to eat a whole sandwich, and I didn't really know why. I knew that I shouldn't eat too much bread. I didn't know I was diabetic. I didn't know anything. I wasn't going to the doctor. but I would get so bored of the food. Sometimes I'd take like 2 meatballs and put a little cheese in there, put a slice of cheese, stir it up, and eat that instead of eating the bread and the sandwich. I didn't really know why I was doing that. Perhaps it's because I somehow I thought about the fact that I was becoming diabetic. I don't know. But what I was doing is I was trying to eat healthier, increase vegetables. A lot of people say if you're on a diet, the most important thing you do is to eat less and eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. But if you're diabetic, fruits and vegetables are the worst thing you can do. Well, fruits are. So I'm gonna bring the camera down. I'm gonna try to pause. I'm gonna bring the camera down. Hopefully it'll work. We won't have to go to a part 2. So here we go. I'm gonna pause this. Ready? Okay, and we're back. I'm gonna go ahead and start this. I tried to make the camera so it'd cover the grill, like the stove, like I did last time. Let me zoom right down a bit. So it's gonna be like this. I was gonna reverse the camera to see how that works. Maybe I'll experiment with that next time. But anyway, you get the gist of the idea. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use this. I'm not endorsing this, but this is StarKist, and StarKist says it is always wild caught. Always wild caught, if you can see that. Here we go. And it's spilling a little bit. That happens. That's why I put down a little thing here. But anyway, it's always wild caught. So first thing we're gonna do when making the tuna, well, this is what we have with 3 cans of tuna. The ratio is 3 to 1. So we're also gonna use mayonnaise. Some people say they use, was that Best Foods? Miracle Whip. Miracle Whip. They said Miracle Whip is not mayonnaise. I'm not a big connoisseur of these kind of egg spreads, so I wouldn't really know. So the way I used to eat it, when I would not have it on a sandwich, I would make the tuna, put it in a little styrofoam cup. I would take pickle chips. Here here's what I've been using. This is dill relish. Now people say, well, you can't have relish. Well, no. I can't have sweet relish. Well, I could have sweet relish if I wanted to, but this is no fat, no cholesterol, no sodium, and no carbs. So it's basically everything is 0, and also 0 calories. And I'm not endorsing this product. This Heinz. They're known for their ketchup and stuff like that. And then I would squirt a little mustard. But I would just take pickle chips. I'd put 1 scoop of tuna, squirt some mustard in there, put another scoop of tuna, squirt some mustard, chop up some pickle chips, put in there, and stir it all in. And then I'd eat it with a spoon or a fork. So we have this done now. These are the cans. I didn't open the cans. I figured you knew how that works. But you're gonna see that the tuna has a lot of water. Now some of them are cooked, or some of them are made in oil. But what you do is you're gonna squeeze out the water like this. That's just water, tuna juice and water. I'll probably put it on the dog's. Food. So I'm gonna just do that. I'm gonna squeeze out the water of all 3 cans, and you can see it's a lot. Now I don't know about this. I thought about this since as a diabetic we're supposed to use fats and oils. Would it be better to use a tuna with oil? I don't know. I don't know what kind of oil that is. So it might be better. I'm not sure. And I'll do the third one. There's a little bit of tuna that falls in here, and I could either pull it out or just waste it. I'll probably go and pull it out. But anyway, so I'm gonna squeeze out as much as I can. Now at Subway, this is what we do. Not we. I don't work there anymore. But we press it out as much as we can, and we get nice and dry. Now you think, okay, that's gonna be nice and dry. That's dry enough. Well, no. Next thing we do is we put the tuna in a clean towel. Now this is not the washcloth. You might have seen some other videos of me wrapping the bearded dragon in her towel and this is not the same one. It's a little bit smaller. She says, she's looking at me saying, put down my towel. That's for my bath, but it's not. So next thing we do is we're going to put the cans of tuna contents. I'll just put it like this for now. We're gonna pop this open and we're gonna just plop them in there. And I may need a fork. No, I'll use my hands. At my Subway that I manage, we wear gloves for everything when we touch food. Some of them they do not. Some of them they don't use gloves if they're out of the public eye. In the back, they're not using gloves. And do they wash your hands? I sure hope so. Is the towel clean? I hope that as well. But anyway, I'll just go and tap that all in here. This is the first can. And this is what I was talking about, how They are all wild cut. Hey, did I mention this? You can also subscribe. So right down there, boop, 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 subscribe. Charlie Tuna says that we don't want a tuna that tastes with good taste. We want tuna that tastes good. And we want you, Charlie Tuna wants you to subscribe. So there's a little bit left in here, as you can see. You might not get it all. When I used to manage a Subway, I'm sure that we'd throw it away with a quarter of a can. They didn't really care. But hopefully the towels were clean. The hands were clean and all that. So that's the first one. And then one more. Plop it in there. Plop that down there. Get all the tuna. Now this recipe is maybe not the way you had it when you were a kid, and it can be adjusted, of course, but this is just the way Subway does it. So someone was asking about that. Now, does Subway use the tuna in cans this small? No, the cans they use are quite a bit larger. Are quite a bit larger. When they make a batch of this. So here's the second can. And now the third we'll put in there. I hope this is big enough. It's gonna be close. Yeah, it's big enough. Okay, and this is the third can. Clean off there. And dumping it in top here. Okay, then when I'm gonna show you this, you're gonna be amazed. Now this is a step that you wouldn't necessarily do at home. I don't know. Fred DeLuca, he was the founder of Subway. I think it started in 1963. So I got all these. I'll put them in the trash. Hopefully the cat doesn't climb in the trash can. She's been known to do rascally things like that. So then we're gonna pick up the towel here. And we're going to, you guessed it, we're gonna hold it over this thing. Now, at the restaurant, mostly they would do this over the sink, this part. So you just take it and you're gonna squeeze. You're gonna be amazed by how much comes out of this. I'm just squeezing with one hand, I'm not gonna squeeze that tight. See that? That's all that extra water. And there's a lot of it. See? So we'd squeeze it all out. Now you don't have to, some people don't even squeeze any water out. You know, they don't even squish it down with the can lid. They just make it. They just open the can, put it in there, and then they add mayonnaise or whatever they're gonna do. So let me back up a little bit, and you can see it. When I turn this, you can see a lot coming out. And how do you know when you're done? You really don't. But as you can see, it's still coming out. So I squeeze it and kind of twist it. And it looks funny when you kind of open it here. Oh, I need to see one of those cans. I forgot. So at home, you'd probably just eyeball it with the mayonnaise. You wouldn't be that precise. You would just put a can of tuna. You'd add maybe a couple tablespoons of mayonnaise, and you'd go from there. But with this, since it's from Subway, it was a formula that we used, and that's probably good. That's probably a little bit more water. Oh, yeah, get a little bit more still. A little bit more water than I would normally use. So now this right here does not go to waste. I will put it on the dog's food. You saw me putting the grease or the oils from the sausage yesterday. Okay, now we're going to use one can of this. One can. So we're going to drop in our tuna now into the bowl that we're going to prepare it in. And you can see it's a lot drier. And some of it sticks onto here. Let me take that off. I'll show you I'll hold it up. I need a better way to do this. Probably should have flipped the camera, like I said, but I didn't really rehearse this. I just thought I was going to shoot this. I have a new manager today. We'll see how long she lasts. The last two managers didn't even last one day. We'll see. This one, she says she's from the UK, but her English is kind of... her English is kind of suspect to be from the UK. It's not American English. It's not British English. It's, not. So now what we're going to do is we're going to use our can. Oh, here's what the tuna looks like now. See, it's a lot more dry. There's a lot of water that came out of there. I kind of just pat it down with my fingers like this, kind of break it up a little bit. Then I'm going to put mayonnaise. So this right here, I'm going to squirt it into the can. Now, it's 3-to-1. But if you like mayonnaise, you can put more than one, of course. So be like this, and this is just how this would look at Subway. Except we wouldn't be using the squirt bottle. We use a big number 10 can, which is a can like this, like the big coffee can. We do it that way. So then I'm gonna pop it in here. It's kind of gross. If you're not a fan of mayonnaise, it's kind of gross. Mayonnaise can be used in this. Now you don't want to use. No, they do have. No, this will be the source of carbs most likely, because if you use mustard and you use relish with no carbs, the tuna is low carb. Yeah, tuna is zero carb, so there's no carb in tuna. So in this kind of tuna, I don't know about any of the other ones. This is the one I have here. So right there, I'm gonna wash that off and toss the can. Even though I'm gonna put my hands in the tuna, I decided to wash them off. It's kind of gross. So this is what it looks like. Now these are the ingredients: 3 parts tuna, 1 part mayonnaise. Now I'm gonna mix it up with my hand. You may want to use, I don't know what you can really use. Maybe tongs, I don't really know. I don't think you really can use anything but your hands for this process. So I'm just gonna work it all in like this. And you can smell it now. It smells like the tuna that comes from there. So, and you want to press your fingers into the tuna deep like this, kind of like when I make the balls for the dogs. I push my fingers way down there to get all the dry ingredients in here. I'm just trying to do it and flipping it over. I didn't flip the whole part that was on the bottom to the top and the top to the bottom, and finish rotating that all in. Clean off my hands. And there you have it. Let me wash my hands. I'll show you the final product. I'm not gonna. It's already 1, but I slept late, so I don't want to eat it. I just finished my breakfast. I made a video of my breakfast. If you go back that way, you'll see it. Or is it that way? Whatever way's back. Is that back? Let's get this done once for all. This is my right hand. This is my left hand, covered in tuna. Is it back? It seems to be back, but when you watch it, is it back? I know that down there if I point to the right, to the left, you'll see to the right, there's a subscribe button. My hands are dirty. Not dirty, they're tuna fishy. So I'm gonna do this. Okay, now this is a little bit for the presentation. This is definitely, you wouldn't want to serve it this way. If you have a group of people coming to order for tuna fish sandwiches, maybe you have another option of cucumber sandwiches for your formal British tea. You don't want to put it like this. You'd have to put this in a different bowl, or wipe this out. But this is what it looks like. This is how it looks like at Subway. So the way I would do this, which I will probably be doing, I will probably take maybe 3 tablespoons of tuna, and then maybe 3 tablespoons, 2 tablespoons of this, and maybe a tablespoon of that. So any kind of mustard. So some people like this with brown mustard. I don't really like brown mustard with the tuna because the tuna is pretty strong taste anyhow. So mustard. This is relish with no added sugar, no sugar at all. And so it has it's cucumbers, water, vinegar, salt. So it's pretty limited ingredient. Let's see how much carbs are in the mayonnaise. 0. 0. So this right here is actually a 0 carb. If you eat it just like the way I do it, with no bread, and you use these 3, you're at 0. So it's 3 cans of tuna, 1 can of this. Unless you make more, you can make 6 cans of tuna and 2 cans of that, or whatever you want to do. 12 cans and 3 cans or 4 cans, whatever you want to do. And you can also do it by your own taste. But if you wanted to taste like the tuna at Subway, if you like the tuna at Subway, there's other delis that probably make it different. But that's basically the menu. Then the flavor that you get with a sub, a lot of times this could be the cheese, the pepper. Like I'll probably add a little black pepper to this. The cheese, the pepper, the condiments, the mustard, the mayonnaise, the ranch the chipotle ranch, whatever you have on yours, that's where you get a lot of the flavors for. So right now I'm gonna go ahead and close this up, and I am going to put it in the refrigerator. Now that you probably don't want to keep that more than probably 3 days. Once you make that, probably about 3 days, as long as you refrigerate it. So if you want to make one small batch, you can also make, of course, 1 can of tuna, and then there's a third of the mayonnaise. I just made it this way because this is the way it's made at Subway. It's 3-to-1, and we do 3 cans to 1 can of that. So this is Subway, how we make the tuna. Did you tune in for the tuna tutorial? Hopefully you enjoyed this. Make yourself some tuna if you like. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your doctor. Hey, I'm thinking about eating some tuna. Is that good? Now, I don't like fish. So for me to eat fish, this is the only way I'm going to be getting fish. Now, fish probably high in the omega vitamins. It's got a good healthy fat. And as long as you don't have a big bag of chips and some cookies with it or whatever, it's probably a good meal. So if I was come home and I have to take some medicine, I don't feel like eating anything, I can just take like maybe a cup this size, maybe half of that with the tuna, add some relish. I can have it just with the tuna and the mayonnaise. We didn't have relish there, so I would use pickle chips, but that'd be it. I wouldn't add any more mayonnaise because I don't like any more mayonnaise. But it's one thing you can do if you make a batch of tuna at 3-to-1 and somebody likes extra mayonnaise, you can just say, hey, squirt a little extra mayonnaise in there. If they want less mayonnaise, fewer ounces of mayonnaise, you'd be kind of stuck. But if you go to the 3-to-1, that's usually like the industry standard, and you can always add to that. Have a great day. This is not part of the Taste Test Tuesday. This is more of a low carb meals that I make, so I will be putting that on that playlist. Now, if you see this channel, if you see this video with a great thumbnail and a good SEO and maybe some good editing, you know the manager worked on it. If you see it the way I usually do it, it's a chance I've already fired the manager. So hopefully she's good. She says she's from the UK. We'll see. I don't know where she's from. I've had someone tell me that they were from the United States. One told me she was from, God, what did she pick? Oh, Texas. And then she said she's from Texas City. That's the city I live. And my name is Mary by name. If they say by name, you know they're not from the United States. So she could have been someone that used to live in another country that came here. But when she says that she lives in Texas City and she didn't know what the state she lived in, I said, I think you're probably not from here. And that's fine. Just tell the truth. Where are you from? Where are you from? What time is it? The only reason you don't really know where they're from is to know the time difference, to know when they'll be receiving the video. If I'm doing this video right now, and what is it, 4 hours later, it's now 1 here, it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon there, should be fine. Should be able to get that done. But if I'm shooting this at my 11 o'clock at night, it might be, 3 or 4 in the morning, the person might be asleep. So that's the only reason why I need to know where they're from. It's not a prejudice item. I don't care where you're from. If you do good work, that's great. Don't steal. Tell me the truth. Don't be lazy, and we'll go from there. Take care, everyone. Have a great day, night, afternoon, whatever it is. Remember, this is from the top of our head to the bottom of our feet. This is our mental health down to our feet health. Let's be healthy. Let's get out there. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your nutritionist. If they have a whole program, Kaiser has one. Aetna has one. We have one for the veterans. I'm sure every single different kind of programs are out there available to those of us that have insurance. If you don't have insurance, talk to your county, the state. The state of California has one. I don't know what state you're from, but if you're in the United States, county, city, state, all of them have a program. There's also online. There's the American Diabetes Association, the ADA. There's the Heart Association. There's WebMD. Many different places you can get good, legitimate information. Some of these even have a Q&A that's free. You say, hey, doctor, or hey, whoever on the high blood pressure agency, I'm thinking about including some tuna in my diet. What do you think? And they'll actually answer your question. It might take them a while to get back, especially if they don't charge, because that's not where they make their money. They're probably short-staffed, I'm sure, nowadays. Take care, everyone. Have a great day.